It's 11:30.
All right. Hello again, adventures, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tears of the Realms with special guest
AKA
Dottie,
germ theory.
aka
Wait, this is
Let's
Tears
Talk
of the
About Germ
Realms? I
Theory.
thought this was tomorrow.
Wait. I like how you said with special guest Dottie, aka Germ Theory.
I'll take it. That's basically my title
This
at
is
work.
Tears of the
That's
Realms.
true.
I'm in the wrong place. I gotta
Honestly,
go.
like in the most positive light, AKA germ theory.
So yeah, despite the fact that I spent all this time finding a way to have the group finally leave the Minish world, they immediately went back. But it did mean that we
Yeah.
get to have Dottie here
We
one more time.
literally left and then went, let's go back.
I mean, we
Oh.
we montaged a few days there. Like there was
Yeah.
time.
No,
but
I think it was a
I built
day.
things.
I think it was a
No,
day.
one day.
No, we did more than a day.
It
because I
was a
built
couple
things.
days.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All
It
right.
took me a couple days to build the cool things with my shield.
That's right, because then I experimented a lot and nothing succeeded, but that was still a lot of fun. We killed things.
Oh yeah, I
And-
was making a fan.
Jax is now
Is
ready
there
to
a
play.
box with a mouth behind you, Jax?
It's my mimic.
Oh!
What?
We went through this like 4
Oh
sessions ago.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing about benzos. Long-term use has been shown to cause brain damage, and I don't have a short-term memory, so
Who are you guys again?
I
don't know
Alex.
anymore. Announcements. Unless you've been living under a rock, you have probably figured out that Echoes of Wisdom launched technically Wednesday night. On the channel here, they have been doing a playthrough, I believe.
Yes,
Correct?
I did for 3 days.
So Lex has been playing through it. I know Elias has been streaming his own playthrough
Amanda
it.
will be
What
taking over.
percentage, Lex, do you think you've completed?
Great question. Wouldn't you like
I
to
have
know,
no
mother boy?
idea.
I think so on stream we did the first 2 major dungeons. We basically finished all of the Gerudo area. After I ended stream last night, I played a little bit more, so I'm right in front of the Zora stuff. Tonight and tomorrow, Amanda Van Heil, who does Zelda Weekly for us, will be taking over and streaming tonight and tomorrow. But I think I don't even really think I'm that far in. I think I'm gonna say I'm like not even 25%. I don't know. It's a
So you would
the
say
map
there's
is
a
tiny.
lot of great content.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
I think somebody
You can do you can make tables.
in
And then can you flip them?
You know what? I'm really sad to say no.
no.
Because I wanted to use it as a weapon and I can't, and it makes me so sad.
Well, that's my
However,
stress relief.
you can throw plenty of other things.
So
Including living creatures?
Steel chair.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, tons. You
I
use them in
expected that would
puzzles.
be the
It's fun.
case.
So yeah, the game has come out. It is an absolute delight. I have it. I've been playing through it. I think I'm slightly ahead of where Lex's playthrough
Probably
was.
everyone is. Even Elias, I think, is ahead of me.
I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah.
If
been
it
lots
helps,
of
I
fun.
haven't bought the game yet, so
All I'm gonna
you're
say.
Yeah,
ahead of me.
Did you even buy Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes, I
Oh.
have bought Tears of the Kingdom
Did you
because
play
it's
it?
a tax write-off because eventually I will and write a disability paper on it. No,
Have
I
you
have not played it yet.
You
but
get
it's
tax
not in
write-off
the
every
shrink wrap
Nintendo game
anymore.
with that.
It's
GG
not
to
in shrink
Ilea.
wrap.
Okay, that's an improvement. That's a step in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Well, no, at this point, my Breath of the Wild is a collector's item in the fact that it's still shrink wrapped.
Girl.
I ran this game, I think, for 2 years without having played Breath of the Wild, and the entire first campaign was based entirely around Breath of the Wild. So
I have played 30 minutes of Breath of the Wild on someone else's game,
To be
which
fair,
is why I know it affects my sim sickness. And that's why I never got around to opening it.
To
Oh,
be
that's
fair,
fair.
Jody, this was your own messed up version of the Breath of the Wild Hyrule, so it doesn't matter if you actually played it or not.
Oh, I did a massive amount of research, and like spoiled the entire game
Let's
for
say, I
myself
think
to
you
be able
spoiled
to
the
do
whole
this.
game for yourself first.
But
You can't spoil that game. There are so many different recipes you can make, and like
And
land.
war crimes.
I
you
like
can
that.
commit.
and
I like
acres of
that you
land to be
can't
cut down.
spoil the game. I can cook in it.
You
It's
can
like
cook in it, and you
first
can
response.
Breath of the
Checks.
Wild, and you can be a
Don't
lawnmower.
examine
You
it.
Give Link more than one job.
Chax did a stream of her Breath of the Wild playthrough, and the two takeaways I have from that stream are: one, Chax likes to murder horses,
Oh,
and
that one.
two, Chax is the only person I have ever seen that actually filled up the
Cooking
food,
slots.
the cooking slots. I've never seen a person that couldn't cook anymore because they ran out of slots. She cooked everything. Anytime she found a new thing, what can I cook with this?
Yes. And
It
but
was
Jody,
impressive.
Did you ever
I
see my
Don't
last
even cook in
episode with
Pokemon Sleep.
the number of arrows I ended up with? I had like 900 shock arrows, 700 fire arrows. Like I had a whole bunch of arrows, mainly because I was bad at aiming.
Item hoarding, I think, is one of the best things created in games ever. It makes me
agree.
happy.
Because then when you use them, you just bury people under the amount. of items that you
Encumbrance
have.
rules is the worst, though.
In
Yes, but doesn't happen.
Let me
in
be a
Breath of the
pack
Wild.
rat.
in Tears of the
Yeah,
Kingdom.
that's why we play Pokemon, where it all mysteriously goes into the bag and never adds any weight.
And that's why I use mods in Baldur's Gate 3.
Cheater.
I've
don't
not played Baldur's
care.
Gate 3.
I
Coffee.
just turned Gale into an Eldritch Knight
I'm glad
with a
that
decently high strength score. And
I
he
thought
holds
we were
everything
about
for
to
me.
have a really interesting coming out moment, Jody.
Oh, no. Sorry, no, that's not me.
My friends made Gale a paladin.
I made Gale sit down at camp.
Look, everyone
Sorry.
talking about like the romancing isn't like making me want to play it.
There was an actual glitch
hey,
when the
hey.
game first launched
Everyone
Hey.
can have the things they want.
where they're basically there's a secret horniness level for each one of the characters, and so as you develop your relationship with them and eventually start a romantic relationship, they become more affectionate. Well, there was a glitch when the game first launched that everyone's like romance level was just set to 100. And
You call it a
so
glitch,
like
I call it a feature.
Morel's kind of world.
like
Honestly,
you would my
it's
first-
a real smart marketing strategy.
I
My
mean,
first
didn't they
interaction
appeal
with
it by
this
House
Starion was just him trying to like rip my pants off, and I was sitting there just like, whoa, dude, we literally just met.
And
You say that like that's a bad thing.
Kind of on brand.
Starion is just mad. Once he gets to that
Look.
point, like he's super aggressive, and it was a massive turnoff for me.
He's a
So
vampire.
Yeah.
Wow,
Also,
spoilers.
also,
I don't see a problem with that.
yeah.
The game's
No-
a year
no problem.
old? A
Look,
year?
I'm a Halcyon person through and through. Love him.
Anyway,
That was
so
Earl's voice, not Jack's.
new Zelda game. If you want to see it played, check out here. Check out Elias's stream. Amanda was streaming it, I think yesterday, and now she's going to be streaming it here. So that's super cool.
One thing I want to add about Echoes of Wisdom without spoiling it is that I am fully convinced, after playing as much as I have, that there is someone from Nintendo and or Grezza who watches these games and gets ideas. Because I've seen some
Why?
stuff, I'm just like, that's literally just
We're in the
when
game.
we did.
I'm telling you guys,
Are we
Rod
gonna get
of
into the credits?
Restoration that turned into the Trifork, and what is Zelda's newest thing? The Tri-Rod.
Tri-Rod. Yeah,
You're
the Tri-Rod.
welcome.
Are you saying that when we get into the credits, they're gonna get in the special thanks, they'll see all of us?
No, they plausible deniability.
Yeah.
It's like, let me copy your homework,
Nintendo
but
would
change it a
never
little.
do
I think
that.
it's-
They would have sued us already if that was the case.
I think
That's
they
it.
they call it parallel thinking is the legally defensible copyright term.
Oh, that's what it
Parallel
Calculus
was.
was
play.
invented by two people at the same time.
Great
Yes.
minds thinking alike in
Mhm.
In
tandem.
different
So
spaces.
But
anyway,
they won't allow that to happen for the Pal World lawsuit.
Oh,
Well,
can we talk about
Palworld's
how
not a
uncomfortable
copyright
I
lawsuit.
was
I know it's patent.
when the state of play happened and one of the big announcements was Pal World, and I'm
oh,
just
that
like,
was hilarious. Are you kidding me? That was the
So
best
did-
part
What
of the thing.
Sony not so Pal World just got, I think, well, was trying to release on PS5 because the state of play happened this week. Pal World was a big part of it. And I wonder at some point if Sony went, hey,
Howard's still
we
on
should
the PS Store.
probably. It's apparently been restricted in some areas because maybe
Only
lawsuit.
Japan.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Only Japan.
But yeah, Pal World's currently getting sued specifically for like patent
Patent
infringement.
infringement.
However, I looked at that trailer and was like, okay, this is so clearly obvious what they're doing. It's not even remotely subtle. I can
I
also
think they got
see...
cocky after not being
Oh.
sued for a year.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, but
no,
I
it has
also feel like
nothing to
Nintendo
do with
waited. Nintendo waited and
No.
wanted to have as much info as they could and then go for it.
No, none of that is true. What it was the patents that they're suing are, I can't remember the term, basically subsidiary patents. The original patent was filed in Tokyo in 2001, and the patents that they're apparently being sued over are the ability to throw an object at something in a 3D environment and have it affect them, and the ability to put a creature into an environment and then write it. Those are the two patents. And the reason that they're suing them now is while the original parent patent was filed in 2021, they filed 3 new kind of sub patents that basically broke that parent patent down into multiple different things to make it easier to sue people over. Because if a patent is supposed to be one singular idea, and one of the really effective ways to defend yourself against a patent infringement
Is
lawsuit
break it down
is-
to the specifics.
and show that, well, this part that you claim to have patent is something that everybody uses, and so that actually invalidates the entirety of the patent. It's unbelievably complicated, but Nintendo didn't quote unquote wait for anything. They had to get their new subsidiary patents before they would have been able to sue in any way, shape, or form.
Granted, maybe they saw Power World and be like, we need to fast track getting the subsidiary patents so that we can.
Well, yeah, no, 100% the reason that they filed the patents, because they didn't file the patents until I think May of this year.
Yeah, they don't sue every game that rides a horse in a field, you know? They...
Or throw something in a
Um,
3D space.
I still say that we don't have enough evidence to say if my statement's not true, that Pal World got cocky.
I
Well,
mean,
No,
you can't
you're
say
right about that.
you're not wrong.
But they
Also,
they got cocky.
To be fair,
even
they may
before
have
they
started cocky.
launched.
speaking of state of play, the other fun big announcement from that event, a fellow Geek and Sundry vlogger turned tabletop extraordinaire turned improvised extraordinaire Erika Ishii is now the lead in the sequel to, in one of my opinion, one of the best games of the 2020s, Ghosts of Yotei.
Yeah.
And
well, the original
or-
game is Ghosts of
Ghost of
Tsushima,
Tsushima
and
is the
now
original
it's
game. The
Ghosts
sequel
of Yotei,
is
or
Ghosts of
Yotai,
Yotei.
something like that.
Yeah.
It
And
involves
Erika
a Y.
Yeah, and Erika Ishii, who is a former Geek and Sundry vlogger.
She was not a vlogger ever, was she?
She was not one of the
She was
vloggers.
no,
but
she was
a
a
Geek and Sundry like
she
host.
first
She was a Twitch
appeared
host.
as
Yeah.
she first appeared as a guest on the Twitch channel and then became a host
Right. Yeah, that's what
through
it was.
things.
Yeah, Geek and Sundry
But, like,
alum,
yeah.
essentially.
She was there for
Um,
the dancing and for the rock band and everything.
And was like early, like friends with everyone at Critical Role. Erica's an incredible performer, very, very cool. And they are now the lead, which is
Mhm.
very exciting.
Well, this isn't even the first time she's been, like, she's also in Veilguard.
Yeah, they're also the lead. They're also
and
one of the protagonist
she was
voices
Anna
in
Bray.
Dragon Age, Veilguard. She's
She was
Uh,
Anna Bray in Destiny 2. Like, her career
They're-
her career is
Valkyrie
nonsense.
and
Or their
all
career,
that.
I apologize. Their career is absolute nonsense. Like,
Also, Dropout Queen. So
yeah, they've done
lots of great
some
stuff
decent
on
stuff with Drop.
Dropout and all that. So when Ghost of Yotei comes out, go support. Go buy it. Also
My
play Ghost of
favorite-
Tsushima. It's very good.
My favorite Erica moment from Dropout is when they're arguing about how they should basically have a Gundam. And
Yes.
everyone is like, but why can we trust you with that? You know, how are you not going to take over the world? And they went, you should trust me. And everyone went, your introduction was literally most likely to take over the world.
And I would accept that. Go
So
watch
I
Story
have-
Pants on Dropout.
I mean,
happy.
but it's for world peace, so it makes sense. So
Look,
you know,
I
totally trust them.
trust Erika Ishii implicitly.
So I am slightly offended that you claim that that was the biggest announcement from the State of Play, because they also announced the Soul Reaver remasters.
I don't know
and
what that is. I'm so sorry.
Jody's
Your
biggest
games from
announcements
PS1.
these games presentation are the obscure,
Erica
the most obscure
Friend.
like remakes
Yeah,
and stuff. Like
Erica, friend of the show.
They're
Wait,
not
let's
friend of the
obscure.
show, friend of
They
us.
were really
Yes.
good selling stuff on the PS1 and PS2. Like, people liked them. They were awesome games.
Okay, but
I'm glad
Erica
you're happy,
friend,
Jody.
uplift friend, happy for friend.
So anyway, so stuff like that happen. In other tabletop news, season 3 of Legend of Vox Machina launches, I think next week, October the 3rd.
Yep.
I haven't watched.
But as of right now, if you have not watched season 1 or 2, it's apparently all available on YouTube.
How?
So yeah, fun stuff.
How was that?
I
What
really,
was it
I
on-
think the thing I
what?
enjoyed the most about it was that I watched campaign 1 live, and watching the cartoon and seeing how they adapted stuff that I remember watching live was just crazy amounts of fun.
I spoke a while back to an animator from what is it, Titmouse, that animates that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's been wild to see how every season we do, we release just the list of episode names, and with incredible accuracy, the entire Critical Role community has accurately predicted the exact events of every episode.
I mean, they did stream everything.
Yeah.
There's we everyone knows what's coming in Vox Machina. The
Well, and
arcs
they make-
are there.
They make changes, like the
They will make changes, obviously, but
but
like,
I mean,
also-
we used to have, rest in peace crit roll stats, but like
Oh, it
the
died?
amount of
That's so
no, they
They
just
retired.
stopped. They just stopped being crit roll stats.
That's what I meant.
Uh,
I meant the website.
Colonel says
but
it's
yeah,
still up.
I
They're not
mean-
actively updating it anymore.
They like crit roll stats is able to infer like classes and abilities and stuff just from like everything, like just watching the show. Like anyone that's surprised that the critters are able to infer things just from titles does not understand the critters.
Anyone who is surprised that a fan base isn't able to go hard doesn't understand fandom.
So anyway, that's a thing that's good going on right now. If anyone is a fan of the Welcome to Night Vale podcast, Renegade Game Studios, the people that make the Power Rangers and G.I. Joe and Transformers and My Little Pony RPGs, they are running a Kickstarter starting October 1st to create the Welcome to Night Vale RPG. Which will be using the same system that powers all those other ones, a system called Essence 20, which I'm a huge fan of. I have my YouTube channel. I make a bunch of Essence 20 based content on it because it's super fun, and Power Rangers is awesome. I mean, G.I. Joe and Transformers are cool too, but Power Rangers.
We know where your heart lies.
It's not like I have an entire shelf. You guys probably, oh, you can see it. It's not like I have an entire shelf of Power Rangers stuff, including a Morpher.
Yeah, I don't crop your camera any more than I need to. The rest is on you.
So, yeah, cool stuff going on there. Any other big announcements? I think, Elias, you mentioned last week or sometime something about a Metroid themed something being announced soon from a
Metroid
rather high
theme.
quality website.
Are we still announcing that there's an announcement coming?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on like 4 hours of sleep and uncaffeinated. You're gonna have to be a little more specific.
You said
weren't
something
more
last time.
specific.
Yeah. You said something about a Metroid. We assumed something to do with Metroid HQ.
You guys they're talking about MHQ's on?
Sure. You didn't even say that much.
Okay. I mean, if I didn't, it's happening.
Yay.
We
Good
haven't announced it
morning.
yet.
Good
It's-
morning.
It's,
Okay.
it's on.
Sweet the Cadillac streets.
Sorry, this even made me lose entirely what I was thinking about.
Now thinking about Rice
MHQ's
Krispie
on
treats?
will be December 4th through 8th. On
Not the version I was
the
singing.
Metroid HQ Twitch channel.
I know.
Cool.
Commercials just pop into my head
We're
so fast
trying
sometimes.
to
Accept
announce
it.
that soon on like social media. But while that's taking forever, I'll just talk about it.
So, yeah, Metroid HQ-thon is very cool, and Elias is a part of it. So you should check it out. Yay!
Ew.
We are.
Also,
we
I
are.
have an audition today, so please give positive vibes for me.
Lex is on vocal rest.
Thoughts and prayers, Lex.
Thank you.
Sending
We-
all the positivity.
I like how like cheering or saying amazing in sign languages you're sending positivity versus mine is like brainwaves.
I'll take those too. I'll take that too.
Amazing,
Thank you.
amazing, amazing.
What's the sign for sending thoughts and prayers?
Mm.
Wow, that's a lot. Never mind.
ASL, folks,
was it.
learn it. It's a fascinating language.
I was hoping there was like a shortcut for the whole phrase, but
No.
No, probably just thoughts,
Too
prayers.
much of a English thing.
You know, a lot of LGBT terms you still have to spell out in
Yes.
ASL.
Although that's changing because languages change.
Yeah,
Sign language is
always
also
change.
sign language is also changing to a one-handed language because of things like FaceTime.
Really? That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
I
I
know,
thought-
right?
I thought a lot of sign language, like I know, like all the numbers in that can all be done one-handed. I thought.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Well, no,
guess
it
yeah. A
needs
lot of
two
the
hands.
language.
It needs two hands.
Mhm.
You have to say like 1,000 and million or whatever
Oh,
by the commas.
yeah.
But also things like family or like interpretation.
Putting
So, but now
words
that's
away,
all
yeah.
like family and interpretation, and which is similar to some other signs. So it's still kind of being adjusted, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Fun
super
fact:
interesting.
ASL is not English, but with your hands. It is
That's-
a completely unique language, its own syntax and everything. It's fascinating.
It kinda
'Cause that is
reminds me
called
more of
sign language,
Japanese
or,
than English.
Signed English, which people tried to enforce upon the deaf community, which didn't work out so well. Let's see, what other cool ASL facts can I give you?
When did you learn ASL checks?
I started
Yeah, that would be
learning
a cool fact.
when I was like 6 because my brother has DiGeorge syndrome, which is now called velofacial cranial syndrome.
Mhm.
And they had estimated he'd go deaf by the time he was 13. So he actually had a speech therapist. How did I get into the field? Who
How did you get into the
advocated
field,
for
Sean?
him and told my mom, hey, these are some sign language classes. I know some signs. This is what you should start. Well, my brother never was interested in it, and also the learning deficit part of his disorder. And but I thought it was fascinating. So I started to sign to him, and he had no idea what I was saying. And I'm like, cool. And now he's just hard of hearing. So yes. And then I majored in it in college, and then everything goes.
That's so cool.
My mom was a sign
Facts.
interpreter for our church, so I learned the very basics of Sissa sign language through interpreting hymns.
Yeah, there was like a hot streak in the 90s where interpretive sign language / dance to
Oh,
very
yeah.
dramatic worship music was a thing for a while. That was a big trend.
And
Which
Well,
is great
put
because
on
it got it
Glee.
popularized.
Yeah.
To be fair, my mom was not that kind of like it was an accessibility thing for a church.
That's
So,
that's the practical application. No, the one that I had was intensely theater
Oh,
kid
yeah.
centered.
Yeah. You guys should go if you haven't already watch interpreters at like screamo concerts or like rap
Mhm.
concerts. They silent I saw one recently about I don't know how recent the actual Eminem concert was, but someone doing like Eminem's rap and you're just like I
That
can't
would
even
be-
read like two signs, but it was
that
the
would be
coolest
like a
thing because they
I've
were
seen
like,
that video,
marathon.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
Did you?
impressive.
it's so cool. Anyway,
So I mean,
I would
Eminem
watch a full
already
concert
raps
just from that
far too
interpreter.
fast.
yeah, I think it was his old stuff too when he was rapping faster.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, so cool.
You gotta
There's
like,
a-
memorize that song and then just go to town and practice that.
Which
Yeah,
one? Rap
and then you
God
also
or
have to change
God.
like the lyrics to the signs and to fit the slang and everything. It's like, oh, so cool.
There's an Australian stand-up comedian named Adam Hills, who is he's a disabled comedian. He has an artificial foot, and so all of his shows he has a sign interpreter. And one of the things he likes to do is like, if it ever, he'll like introduce his sign interpreter every single time he goes. And if I ever lose the crowd, I'll just start saying rude words and then watching her to see what the signs look like,
Yeah,
because they're always fun.
yeah,
So
yeah. There's one where I know his face, but I don't know his name. He's just extremely crass. And he had never had a sign language interpreter before, and so he was talking to the crowd and then he noticed her and he goes, why are you here? And starts talking to her and she's saying exactly what he's saying, and so the deaf people in the audience are like and then she finally gets it and like responds a little bit and like it's really funny. It's really funny. But he did the same thing. He started saying a whole bunch of curse words and fun phrases.
Hey, Jeff Dunham at one point had an interpreter one of his shows, and he had one of his puppets just start speaking random gibberish. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, as soon as you do that, because it's the puppet that's saying it, you can't tell that it's her, but you just watch as the sign interpreter just starts car,
Yeah.
eggplant, dirker, and you're like, all the deaf people down is going, is she having a stroke? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Another fun fact about sign language, facial expression is an integral part of it, because to change something from a statement to a question, you go,
Or if you want to emphasize something, you use your tongue a lot and you have to wiggle it like long time ago.
it is
Really far.
absolutely a fascinating language. I had, when I worked in retail, I had an associate who's fluent in sign language. And again, I knew the bare minimum, but I could, I guess, read, I could understand a lot more than I could speak. And so if she was having a particularly like disagreeable customer, she would like subtly sign to me that please get over here, I need your help, and stuff like that. And every so often we would have these very, very simplistic sign language conversations over the shoulders of the customers who had no idea we were speaking at all.
Oh, I used to get angry with customers and I would just like sign with my hands down. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just stretching. I'm on the computer all the time. And like cursing them out essentially. Like a stupid idiot. Sexist.
Sign language is great, guys.
Took a few classes as a teenager to impress a girl.
Any other announcements involving Zelda or tabletop stuff?
nope.
Cool. Well then, I think it is time for us to return to Tears of the Realms.
Diminished tier version.
We can just call this Tears of the Minish. We're never leaving.
No.
Dottie's a permanent guest now.
You're here
Surprise!
forever.
This is how you join.
Your audition was a special guest.
Yeah, your audition was live streamed. Congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah.
You booked.
The party
It's
has
insane.
returned to the world of the
World.
Minish. After confronting the strange shadow creature and eventually dealing with the shadow sickness that they discovered was created by the shadow creature in order to control the population, the party eventually left on good terms, the Minish, and came back to the Hyrule that they all know. They discovered that while they had only been gone for a week or two in the world of the Minish, in the land of Hyrule, 6 months had passed. And the Sheikah from Etsu Korimal had started venturing forth from their tier and attacked the Tears Core. So the Tears Core they returned to was a very different place. It was fortified, it had weapon emplacements, it had guards everywhere. And it becomes significantly more militaristic. The party took some time to work on some of their own projects, and then eventually met again with Kess to discuss their next outing. Kess originally requested that they investigate a tier that had recently gone dark, but the party countered with the idea that the limitation of them having to physically interact with the tier at the core of each one of these, the crystal at the core of each one of these tiers, was becoming a liability. So they decided to return to the tier of the Minish in order to attempt to extract a portion of the central crystal, hopefully giving them the ability to leave any tier at any point. And that is where we return. So, this will be this. So, to kind of bring everyone back up to speed, especially since Dottie wasn't able to join us last time, after dealing with the shadow being, Vati, who had been imprisoned with him, stood up and attempted to use her incredible shadow magic that she'd been imprisoned with, only to find out it's not there anymore. And she took a swing at a dash, which involved her hitting him and doing literally like negative damage to him, to which Adesh just kind of laughed it off, and she was taken away, imprisoned without any of her powers.
Dash got healed.
Yeah. It was more like just a gentle caress.
Body trying to punch me healed me.
So after dealing with all that, Fubari was made the ambassador between the Forest Minish and the Town Minish.
Promotion.
Yeah. And then the party was able to leave the tier, come back, and they found out about the attacks from Etsu Korimawa and how the Tears Core now is a little bit more militaristic. They all started working on their own things. Mato discovered that they had built him his own workshop. And you're muted.
It's perfect for me. And then my friend Steve came and we made cool things.
Yeah.
I now have a glide shield.
Yeah. And if he introduces a charge to the shield, it will automatically wind his little launch platform in it. So cool stuff there. I believe What were the other things that you guys were focusing on? Adesh, you were. Can't remember what you were doing.
I'm mostly seeing if I could explored options on how to get a jetpack to my Itsukor Mala armor.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
slept
you
with the shield.
you tried, yeah. And unfortunately, it didn't end up working out for you.
I
I do-
am in
I
the
do
middle of
love-
an experiment of entering the Minish tier with my armor on, though, so we'll see how that happens in seconds.
I do love how Motto's shtick is just like shields and shield related accessories.
No, that's. Let me be very clear.
Uh-huh.
That was the whole thing.
I love
Pierre
it.
was like a character that had like super tragic, like kind of like backstories that was like super intense. And for this campaign, I want to go the complete opposite direction and play a silly little guy who's like 6 feet. I wanted pure himbo territory, and I think Jody came up with the idea, and I went, "That's perfect. I'm in."
Well, I
I went
think-
the least tragic I'm capable of.
I wanted to just have a good time.
See, and I went the exact opposite of Arel. So she's biting. She doesn't trust many people. Like, she doesn't want relationships, but she laughs at the fact that everyone has them.
And has shadow powers.
She has
'cause
relationships. She just doesn't know
Chax
about
can't
it
create a character without shadow powers.
You're right. That's why I play an Echo Knight.
Echo Knight, your barbarian doesn't technically have shadow powers, but has the ability to teleport and
He's the magic boy. He's just being is magical.
so. Anyway, where we left the party is you guys had returned to the deportation platform. Had aimed at. Oh, and you guys also got training on how to extract
yeah.
pieces of the crystal without completely destroying it. Quick question for you, Elias. Is there a particular reason why you have Karlak pinned in the chat?
I don't know what you're talking
Don't worry
about.
about it.
Okay.
Don't
Cool.
worry.
Don't
It's
ask
fine.
questions. You don't want the
Don't
answer.
ask questions.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, you guys feel the familiar experience of the transportation process. You feel yourself starting to kind of fade from reality. And as you are traveling, you suddenly get this kind of image in your head, and you realize you can kind of direct yourself somewhere within the tier. So when returning to a tier you have already been to, you can choose between the original entry point. You can choose to return to the crystal itself, or if there are large areas where there's a lot of people normally living there, you can choose to appear in one of those places. So in this particular tier, you guys can start basically in the wilderness, which is where you started before. You can teleport to the tier itself, or you can teleport to either the Forest Minish large city or the town Minish, Hyrule Castle town.
I like the idea of us being gone for a couple of days. We just come back a minute later. And so suddenly we're in town as everyone makes their way
That's
back. It's like,
true if
Yeah, I like
That
the
would be
image of that being like,
hilarious.
wait,
6
how are?
months. I have to do math now.
'Cause wait, we were. It's too early for me to do math, and my brain is in theater mode, so I'm gonna let you do the math, okay, Elias?
There is no math in theater.
Exactly. Thank you, Dottie.
That is not true.
It is for me. My job is just dance and maybe sing, but mostly dance.
Yes,
If-
you're right. You only have to count to 8.
Hey, that's reductive. Sometimes we have to count to 12.
If
You should know that.
I would like you to know it's still math.
if the time dilation is 1-to-1, we should have only been gone for a few hours.
How dare you?
But who knows?
All right.
Anyway,
Apparently, that was enough time for Elias to do math.
yeah.
You're welcome. It's called vamping.
I'm able to do math when my brain is not 100% a lot. Ask me about bartering with a merchant outside of a rave while drunk on sake. But
I would love to hear that.
Pause. That's a story.
for another time, I am thinking about the crystal, but I don't know where everyone else is thinking.
Same.
I was thinking about where we had left.
Which was the crystal.
Which was the crystal?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are getting closer, you start to feel yourselves moving towards the same location, and suddenly you can feel the kind of cool air around your skin. The immediate area that you're in is extremely dark. So you can't really see any thing, but you are definitely transported there. And after like a few seconds, suddenly the very large crystal that you guys have all kind of appeared before starts to very, very faintly glow. And you can start to see that you're in the temple. The door that was closed originally seems to still be open. You just seem to have arrived during nightfall.
Is anyone around? And we're made of metal.
You are still in your stalker armor. The rest of you, whatever focus you had when you began the transition to this tier, you are still in that focus. So I don't know if you guys changed, if anyone other than Adesh changed their focus, but
No, Zariah's gonna stay her poison self.
okay.
Now that she's become attuned with nature.
Dun dun dun.
It's a resentful attunement.
Yeah. So as you all look around, and I would guess technically for Adesh, because of your heads up display and everything, it would naturally kind of correct for lighting situations. So you could see fine once you got there. Everyone else, you were kind of blind until the crystal started glowing. Once the crystal starts glowing, you can see a pair of guards kind of look around. They start coming forward with weapons ready, and then they kind of see who you are. And they go, "Oh, you've returned."
You guys recognize us?
Well,
I mean, I haven't changed, so.
Oh,
I-
guess they recognize you, yeah.
I only really have one base outfit.
we recognize that. We don't know what that is. They point to Adesh in his full armor.
I wasn't sure
We
how many
recognize
of us-
you.
Were you
are
not-
one of the heroes?
Were you not wearing the full armor before?
In the
No,
No.
it doesn't transfer. Or we didn't know if it transferred or not because we
Yeah.
never tried it.
I was experimenting.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we all like experimentation, especially a dash.
Not since college.
Basically, when you guys
Went to
go
college.
to a
Unhinged.
new tier, you
Yeah, that's new lore.
get a I'm just ignoring it. You get a new
Jody is
focus.
I was
trailblazing
focused
right
on the
past it.
educational aspect.
And everyone else was not. And Jody is just going, all right. Anyway,
Cass definitely implemented that system.
So the guards go, "So what has brought you back to us?"
Well, we're about to destroy something, at least part of it. I'd highly recommend you leave.
Not okay. Why do you have to put things in the worst possible way?
It's not the worst possible way.
We're
It's
not going
not
to
exactly
Have
destroy
you met her
anything.
parents?
That's why I said just a small part of it. I didn't say everything about it.
We
And I
are-
also
Perhaps-
didn't say I was going to kill anyone this time, so.
whoa, okay,
Time
okay.
crunch.
Perhaps
Hold
if you
on.
are going
I want
to go
Dilly
to
to
war,
take out a knife and fork.
perhaps if you
No,
are going
Dilly,
to
we're
go
not
to
that
war,
kind of destroy.
we should go send for the ambassador.
Oh no, don't worry about it. We
Well,
got
I mean,
this.
you could get
The last
ambassador if
time
you
the
want.
Minish
Wait, how
people
long have we
heard
been
anything
gone?
from Dilly, it was Dilly figuring out and just thinking to themselves, how would Minish taste and would that technically be cannibalism?
Hey, Ilea. Hey, Ilea. What?
Oh yeah,
You
you
mean
missed
what?
that
You were
part.
That's
there.
what happened. You were there.
I don't remember
It was a
this.
week ago.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I thought that was 2 episodes ago.
I don't remember.
So,
No, that was
when Adesh
Oh,
asks, "How long have you been gone?" You go, a day or so.
I calculated it.
Okay.
It's in the Twitch chat.
What's a
Well,
Twitch chat?
if it's a day or so, then it's not 1-on-1. Okay.
90 minutes. Cool.
I mean, if you want to get the ambassador and she's around, then great. But,
We will send a runner to find her.
Oh wait, where is she far? Like what?
Well,
Is
the
she ambassador
ambassador
right now?
doesn't tend to stay in one place for very long. She enjoys wandering.
Is
But-
Oh
the
yeah, we know.
is the ant still outside? Adesh, do you want to go get her on Hunter? Get them on Hunter.
Oh,
I would like to point out that last time we ended up being gone for 6 months, so maybe we want to do all of this very
that's why-
quickly.
yeah, we're
Yeah, the time frame's a little bit longer than I expected.
Get the ambassador, but we have to start working on the crystal here.
Okay. Perhaps she is close. Her and her ant friend have been exploring the areas around the temple.
That's right. She has fast travel now too.
So they
Anyway, don't mind us. We start. While we
they
start
send-
on the crystal, I wanna keep an eye on like the state of reality. Make sure nothing.
Sure. happy someone's thinking about that.
Dilly's absolutely
I
going to
don't.
try and use the knife and fork on the crystal.
That's.
So
And it will
they-
be immediately stopped.
They
They don't
send
think Dilly is there.
a runner off, but it's going to take at least a little bit of time for them to find it. So, for them to find Fubari. So, what do you guys want to do? Again, currently it seems like it's in the middle of an act.
Doesn't matter. Work on the crystal.
I mean, it started glowing
Yeah.
for us. It was null before we showed up, and then it started glowing.
As far as you could tell, again, you don't know what was happening when you weren't here, but when you came in, it was completely dark in the area, and then maybe like a second or two after you guys were there, the crystal itself seemed to react to your presence. It started this very kind of low level light,
Okay.
like
Were
not
the-
enough to illuminate the entire area, but enough that your eyes could adjust to the darkness and see relatively well.
Did both of the guards go?
No, they sent a runner. They had they found a young kid actually, whose entire
Handy.
purpose is to
Run.
run messages.
Handy. Perfect. So, Adash, since you were more well trained in that area, I will go question the guards nicely.
You want?
Nicely, they
You
said.
want to question the guards? You want me to question the guards?
Either which.
Which one did you just suggest
Oh,
specifically?
since you were trained more on chiseling out a piece of the crystal,
Oh, sure.
I
Well, the
believe.
suit helps, but yeah.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Dilly and I can go question the guards.
Please don't kill them.
Almost Lex. Or Mado. Mado, actually, you'd probably be
What?
a better person to go and question the guards to see how much data you can pull out of them. Like, was it glowing before, or how did they notice anything when we arrived, or was there a fluctuation, or any of those questions?
Sure.
Wouldn't make sense
Yeah,
if was
I
trying
can
to
do that.
dissect them at the same time.
Sure. I can do that. Yeah. And he'll even go and
Talk to the
find
guards. Okay.
talk to the guards.
So while you're doing that, Adesh, are you going to start
I'm going to
examining the crystal? Are
begin.
you immediately going to start trying to hawk a piece off? Like,
Well, I mean, I'll do examination if there's any like different, reaction or anything different. But when I do start, I will be extremely initially slow and cautious because we don't know how it's going to affect anything.
And
Okay.
Zerai will be taking one, being a supervisor, because Adesh needs a supervisor, but two, also documenting if there's any changes to the crystal, or if there's any fluctuations, or if like the light changes or something happens. So she's writing
So-
all of that down.
so Adesh, go ahead and make me a power check, which your heads-up display will act as an asset for. Is it going to be difficulty 4 base? So with your heads-up display, it turns it to difficulty 3. Mata, what?
Before I leave, since I have some training in identifying and stuff as well, could I give an asset as well and give an assist for that? In
Or
terms
can
of
my
like
supervising skills with the intense scrutiny to gather data, can that assist as
Between
well?
the two of you, you can give him an additional asset, so that'll bring it down to a difficulty 2.
sweet.
To use my heads-up display as an asset, because it's listed as a special ability specifically, my heads-up display, does that take away my 2 power edge just to use that asset?
Does it have a power cost associated with it?
Yeah, to help make sense of, analyze, and use my weapons.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that there was a power cost. So yeah, if you wanted
When you
to add
trigger
it
this
as an
ability,
asset,
you gain an asset on one attack roll. But
I'll say because again, attack rolls are different than anything else. I'll say that for non-attack rolls, I'll say that the heads up. Well, I guess for this one, yeah. If you want to get that asset, you have to spend the
yeah, okay.
the power points.
This difficulty 2 now.
Yep.
What happens if you use effort tokens to reduce a difficulty to 0?
It's an auto success.
Amazing. Yeah, okay, why not? Let's make it an auto success for 5 more power points. 5 more,
Okay.
right? 3 and 2.
Yepers.
Okay.
So no roll required. You as you let me try this one more at a time. As you focus on the crystal itself, probably the first thing that you notice is the crystal that you guys learned on is very, very different than the crystal that is in front of you. The crystal that you learned on was kind of like, for lack of a better term, it was like a big hunk of ice almost, where yes, it's all connected, but it's relatively kind of simplistic to see that you can kind of hunk pieces out or like take pieces off of it, and yeah, it looked like a giant kind of chunk of ice. This in and of itself, you're having a hard time kind of seeing anything aside from the kind of shell that you're looking at. Like you can't really detect that there's anything inside of it. As far as you can tell, it might be completely hollow on the inside. You're not 100% certain. Your heads-up display is not technically designed to be able to deal with this particular thing, but it does definitely seem different than the crystal that you were trained on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, with that information, What do you want to do?
Just a tiny little, little tap, little piece.
Okay.
Bearing in
So
mind, I'm probably dealing with something hollow. I'm trying to compensate for that.
Mm-hmm. So as you take the kind of chisel and various effectively jewel making supplies that they gave you, you notice that things like your chisel skates on the skates off of the edge of the crystal in a similar way that it would to like a hardened blade, like a file on a hardened blade. So as you try and take like a tiny little piece, you're just not able to get enough purchase.
Can I try for a more direct angle?
Sure. Go ahead and make me a courage check.
While he's doing that, can Zaraya see this? And because I imagine she was also given similar tools, and correct me if not. But can she go to like the other side of the crystal and start to basically just try and get a handful of powder, like file it down?
Kind of like shave it.
Yeah, precisely. Either shave it or just like a very hard knife or something, trying to take the shavings off to give it an edge. So yeah.
So yeah, as you again attempt to try and shave it off, you're noticing something similar. Everything that you try to use against it just kind of skates off of it. Even things that you think should, like files and other things like that, which should kind of grip it and kind of grind some of it off, they just kind of skate off it and they're not really getting any purchase.
All right.
Well, that's fine because so long as it, like, if it's like an egg or something that's, well, eggs has some texture, but regardless, you should be able to like file it, not chisel into it, just sort of file across it gently, because that should release some.
It should. It's just not.
Okay. Third experiment.
Okay.
We're just gonna keep going down.
What if we heat it up?
Dilly is going to take one of their excess teardrops and try and see if they can get any part of the crystal removed using basically itself.
Okay.
Because Mo's scale of hardness.
So what specific teardrop are you using?
I'm going to
Because as much as they are a fragment of the tear, they manifest as physical objects.
Yeah. They're all in Dilly's hair. It's fine. For, safety's a thing. Sure. Nature shield.
Nature shield. Okay. I remember what this one.
Boop. The awful text.
I believe the nature shield was actually a because that was the one that you got.
Yeah, I'm not trying to activate it. I am literally trying to use itself like diamond tip saws against something of the exact same type.
So the nature shield, if I remember correctly, the nature shield is actually, I can't remember the term right now because my brain doesn't like to remember things. But that's not a physical teardrop. It's an intrinsic one. So it doesn't have a physical form.
I thought I picked something up.
You did, but maybe it got absorbed into you.
My assumption is that all teardrops end up in Dilly's hair.
So when the party first got to the Minish World, each one of you guys got, there's a term for it. And it's driving me nuts that I can't remember what they're called.
I had it written down, but I used my only one, so I don't have it written down anymore.
Yeah, give me just 2 seconds. I'm going to open up the Cypher rule book.
I do still have a
In the meantime, Lex is just calling me a nerd in chat.
Yeah, because you mentioned Mo's scale of toughness.
Scale of hardness. It's hardness.
It's a real thing.
Nerd!
Like diamonds
Subtle.
are a 10, which is the top of the scale, which is why to cut a diamond, you need to use diamond. Because you can't cut something with something that is softer than it. It has to be equal or more.
But if
I'm
it's not
aware.
working,
Because
then...
they use it in on cell phones and stuff to like for hardest of screens, but also nerd.
Can't
I
you
took a
cut
So
course on
diamonds?
gemology.
anyway,
So-
Hold on. This course was called Gems, the science behind the sparkle. Just
Ooh,
okay.
Okay.
Keep
Wow.
going.
title. So sorry, hold on. If that doesn't end up working, can we experiment with temperatures?
We're
sure.
just gonna keep going.
Let's do one thing at a time so you
Yeah.
don't confuse the game master.
Sorry.
All right. So, the nature shield, I believe, is what's called a subtle cipher. So it's just an intrinsic power that
Okay.
you have. The remote
I-
viewer would be what's called
All
a
right.
manifest.
Then
and
I
that
will
one would
use
have
the
a-
remote viewer. I'm using a crystal that Dilly is pulling out of their hair and is going to see if that is working and maybe their tools are just not made of the correct material.
Gotcha. Cool. So, as you to take the remote viewer, which here basically looks like a little kind of crystal orb with kind of an eye shape on it. As you sit there and you try to use it to do anything, as it gets close to the crystal, the cipher itself starts, or the teardrop itself starts to resonate, and so does the large crystal. And the
Back
closer
off.
it gets, you can actually feel it start to warm in your hand.
Guys, something's happening.
I'm backing off of my more direct angle.
Okay.
Noticing this.
So, if you continue going until it actually physically touches the crystal, you feel some resistance as it touches it, but it's not nearly as much as you think it should be. And you realize that by touching the teardrop to the crystal itself, it's actually starting to just go into the large crystal.
All right, I'm going to take my hand back.
Okay.
Try not to let go of the crystal.
Oh,
All right,
okay. Well, I was
make
about to touch
me-
the crystal, but that would just send me back to Daryl.
Make me a courage check.
What's the
We're going to call it difficulty 5.
Okay. I just looked for my effort token. Sounds good. Difficulty 5 is a 15. So let's use 3 effort tokens. Right?
Do you have you increased your maximum effort?
Oh, not for this level. So let me use 2 effort tokens.
Okay. So we get it down to a 3.
Okay. And so that means I have to make a 9 or better.
Yepers.
Okay. Get rid of that. Hello, courage. Okay. Sorry, too many things
Hello,
open.
Daddy. Hello, Mom. I'm your cherry bomb.
bomb.
I didn't know you were leading into a musical number and thought
That's
you were
not
just
a
saying,
musical
"Hello,
number.
Daddy."
No,
I
that's
don't know what was
that's a
happening
song
there,
from
and
the
I was very-
80s.
Yeah,
I was
that's
very
um,
concerned for a second.
It's
that
I'm
not
like,
Joan
from a
Jett?
what is
musical. Yeah, I think it's
happening?
Joan Jett.
I got that. Hello, operator. Please dial number 9.
Anytime you start singing something, I don't
It's The
recognize,
Runaways.
I assume it's from a musical.
Runaways.
Yeah. Sorry. So I just roll a straight d20. I haven't rolled in a while.
Yes.
Okay. I got a 15, which is exactly what I had to do before using effort.
Isn't that fun?
Nice.
Yay.
We support your use of it. We support your efforts.
Yay.
So as you are sitting there and you feel it start kind of going into the crystal itself, you immediately kind of realize this and you start trying to pull it back. But what should have been something very, very simple and easy is extremely difficult. And so you first just kind of, and eventually you're able to get it back. But what used to be a kind of perfect sphere now has a flat edge to it. And the remote viewer used to be a level 5 teardrop. It has now been reduced to a level 4.
Okay. I'm going to assume Dilly thinks it looks cooler now, puts it back in their hair, but is also upset at the crystal for trying to pull them in and considering if an Aruna hand bomb should be pulled into the crystal next.
So while all this is
This
happening,
is just all that Dilly is thinking, not anything that they're actually doing. Just to let you know their current state of mind.
so while all this is happening, Mato, you come out and the guards have just sent a runner off. And they see you kind of come over and they just kind of look at you.
Hey,
Hey,
so got a question for you if you got a second.
okay.
So that the crystal that's in there,
Yes.
did it start glowing recently? How long has that thing been glowing?
What it glowed when you arrived. Actually, no, they weren't even looking when it happened. So they go. They kind of look at it now. It's glowing.
Yeah. There's been some weird too long of a story. I just want to make sure it's been glowing. It's glowing now, which is a little bit concerning. But I was wanting to know how long it's been glowing. If anything else happened I guess now since you're not just aware of it, now it's glowing. So nothing like you can't know like what before. Beside the point.
Well,
So
it's only been a day or so since you were here last, but we were put here to guard it because they didn't think it was the best idea in the world to close it again.
no,
Especially
and I
since
think
we-
that was a good point. I just wanted to double check to see if anyone noticed it was like not glowing before and glowing now kind of deal.
Is it glowing now? And they kind of look at it.
Yeah. It's glowing.
Are you sure?
I look
Seems very
inside.
non-glowy to me.
I look inside. It's clearly looking like it's glowing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's glowing. I'm like you like Mato just like yeah, no, it's glowing.
Okay.
I forgot what else I should be asking.
This
Someone-
is so far beyond their pay grade.
The ambassador
So
says as she rolls up.
You're asking the rent-a-cop how the mainframe works.
And they're like, I don't know, man.
Uh,
I just work here.
I started watching Resident Alien 2 days ago for the first time. So I don't know if you've seen that, but now I've decided like headcanon is Mato has a genetic mutation that lets him see aliens and alien technology that no one here has.
Joe.
Pulls out a cell phone. What is that? Oh, it's alien technology. You won't get it. I don't think I think that's all Mato was gonna do. Just like, okay, cool. Just
Okay.
I walk
So-
back in. I don't think they actually were aware that it was glowing at all. Apparently, they don't think it's glowing.
As you come back, you watch as Dilly seems to be kind of touching something on the crystal and then kind of falls back slightly.
Do I see it work? Did I see anything that they did work or just no?
No, as you come in, the only thing you see is Dilly kind of pulling something off of the crystal and then looking at it.
What is that? I guess go over to Dilly and it's like, yo, Dilly, what do you have there?
Puts it back in their hair. Well, it used to be round.
Oops.
It's not anymore. It was mine. Um,
Interesting. Yeah, the gods said they didn't realize or think the crystal was glowing. They apparently looked in and was like, it's not glowing. So maybe they don't see it? I don't know.
So, can Zaraya um make something with her um bracers, whatever she has on her arm? Basically, can she use that to see how it's going to interact with the crystal without touching it herself?
Sure. So you just kind of like grasping vines kind of thing? Like you're just gonna grow it
Yeah.
so that you can interact with it without physically touching it with your arm?
I've provided additional information checks.
I know, I saw. Yes, don't read that, Jody. It's not for you. It was supposed to be a whisper. I failed.
Rip.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
Pay
wish
no
you could
attention to
change
the
that.
chat feed and roll 20.
Yeah.
So, as you go and grow the plants and they interact or they start touching the crystal, nothing really happens. Like the plants stop at the crystal, and if you try to like pierce it, I guess, do you want to try and like pierce the crystal? Do you want to try and see if you can get the plants to kind of grow on the crystal, like
So,
other than just touching it? Do you want to do
right.
anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
Lots
Caress
of
it
things.
lovingly,
No, it's not this character.
buy it
Um,
dinner.
no, that's a real. Sorry. I know I turned the voice on earlier, but or did it turn itself on?
Knowing the rel, it's the second one.
All the above. So originally just seeing if the vines are going to have any reaction to it, or if she grows something that's a little bit more abrasive, if that's going to cause anything to happen with the crystal itself, and then possibly how do you pronounce that? Balok? Can sound like Balok. Um, or see if oh no, I just had an idea. Can it attach to the crystal? Does it seem like it's more pliable, or is it responding differently, or
So trying to
Is
get
it a squeeze?
your like kind of changing it from just like vines to like vines can grip onto buildings and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so trying to get it to grip on like you would like a wall or something like that,
Mhm.
it seems to be completely pointless. Anytime you try and make the vine grip onto the crystal or do anything to interact with the crystal, it just doesn't is unable to get any sort of purchase on the crystal itself.
Interesting. All right. Can if she makes it somehow abrasive, is that changing anything?
So I didn't hear. Did you say
Sorry.
it makes it abrasive?
Mm-hmm.
How abrasive are we talking? Like fuzzies on the tree or thorns or
Probably closer to, yeah, thorny.
okay. As you kind of start manipulating the vines themselves and you start growing the thorns, at first nothing seems to happen. And then the vines move across the surface of the crystal. Thank you, computer. Sorry, my computer decided to tell
welcome.
me something. Um, at first, then nothing happens as you create the thorns, but eventually they kind of move against the crystal, and all of you in the immediate vicinity hear this extremely loud, kind of ear-piercing tone Not so much like a scratching sound like nails on a chalkboard or something like that, but an actual kind of resonant tone. If you've ever heard like someone play
Like a tuning
crystal
fork?
glasses,
Oh.
that very, very pure sound that comes from like rubbing a crystal glassware or something like that. Or there's an actual instrument that works using
Um,
resonant crystals, and I can't remember
yeah,
what it's
they're
called.
really cool. They're really big too, and they're super pretty, and they're super expensive.
Oh,
But
wine glasses.
it's
No,
that same experience of it just sounding this
pure.
very, very pure tone,
Is it
but
high
very, very
pitched
high
or
pitched,
low pitched? Very high pitched. Okay.
extremely high pitched, enough that
Okay.
it's unpleasant for all of you.
Ow.
Ow, but interesting. All right, so
If I wanted that.
let's think about
Never
that
mind.
for a second.
Is that what it's called, Imp?
I think it's a glass harmonica.
Yeah, that's it.
It sounds about right.
Oh my gosh.
Up now.
So it's
They're
Yeah,
called
fascinating.
something.
Yeah, that's it. They're fascinating
Yep,
instruments.
All right, so as you've obviously heard that, using something from this, because we haven't tried anything from this realm. Oh, we need to wait till Dottie gets here and experiment with all the items in their pockets. All right, so if
Well,
so the way that I achieved that noise was with my thorns. Here, try this, and she's going to break one off and walk over to a dish and give it to him. It's obviously getting some kind of purchase here, and with that purchase, that means that it's potentially giving us something that we can use our tools to grip onto, even if it's a minor amount to purchase. Let's see.
I mean, I was about to slowly start to stab it with the tools we were given.
No. Try something from this realm. Or realm. This tier.
So as all of this is happening, Fubari. It is late enough to be early. But for whatever reason, you haven't been able to sleep particularly well tonight. After being given the title of ambassador, one of the first things that you did with your new ant mount was to get away from all the people asking you to do ambassadorial things. And so you've been, exploring the area around the temple because this is a particular place that you just hadn't had a chance to explore before. And so you've been kind of exploring and things like that. You set up camp, went to bed, and you recently woke up. And as you're trying to figure out if you want to try and attempt to get back to sleep or just get a really, really early start to the day, you suddenly hear this ear-piercing tone that seems to come from everywhere at once. Very kind of pure, very, very high-pitched. But it's high enough that it hurts your ears a little bit.
Of course, that makes sense. That's why Etukor Mala was able to pull the energy out of it. Oh.
So
get
what
it.
would you like to do for Bart?
Is my ant mount nearby?
Yeah, he'd kind of like settled down after a snack, and seems to still be unconscious. I don't actually
Alright.
know if ants sleep, but this one does.
Well,
Yes,
the
that-
the strange sound has piqued curiosity, so I immediately pack up whatever I have in my little camp. Did they send somebody to find me, or has did
They
just
have.
not,
They
were not successful?
haven't. They haven't gotten to you yet because this
Okay.
is
Child
the
life
runner
is the
literally
wilderness.
left like 10 or 15
Never
minutes ago.
returned.
All right. Well, I hear the noise, immediately interested, pack up my little campsite, hop on the ant, start heading towards it.
Okay. So the noise again didn't have a direction. It sounded like it came from
Just ringing.
everywhere all at once, almost like it was coming from inside your own head.
Oh.
So with that information, what would you like to do?
Are there any smells that are accompanying this sound? Can I
Uh,
smell anything?
Not anything that you wouldn't expect to smell. Like your fire burnt out, so you can smell a little bit of the kind of burnt ashes of that. You were sleeping on the ground, so you can smell the dirt around you. Um, the temperature's gone below dew point, so you can smell that kind of moisture in the air as dew is now starting to settle on the grass and things like that.
Was the sound only once?
Yeah,
Can I hear an echo anywhere?
no. In the idea of acoustics and things like that, as far as it's like with how loud it was, you think that there should be an echo. Or at
Hmm.
least like your ears should be ringing from how loud it was, but there's no ringing in your ears. There's no echo. Hunter the ant seemed oblivious to it.
I feel like with an unusual event, the weirdest place in the area is the temple. So I
Mhm.
feel like I would head straight to the temple.
Okay. So you get on your ant mount and you start heading to the temple. You're actually only uh like an hour or so away from the temple at a leisurely pace.
Mhm.
If you kind of book it there, you can probably get there within about 20 to 30 minutes. So, as that's going on, we cut back to the tier walkers.
So you
So,
want me to stab the crystal with your vine?
Well, you don't actually have to stab it, but try
Well, you want
using
me to
it.
try to mine the crystal with the mine?
Essentially, so use it instead of your chisel,
Okay.
because there are some thorns that are actually curved enough to have more of a hollow indent, or they're just more raised on the other side. Like
Is
however
this
you
a
want
is
to
this
think
a
about
stiff vine? Is it bendy?
It's a thorn, so not very bendy now.
Okay. Well, I will attempt to do what I was going to try and do, but with this thorn instead. I'll try the first method. I tried again just in case it's different with this one. And then
Oh,
if
wait,
I
wait, wait.
get the same result, I'm gonna try the more direct angle, like I was going to.
Wait.
What?
Zoraya's going to take another thorn and um smack it against the side to see if she can get a tone out of it. Not actually
yeah.
do damage, just smack it.
Uh, how much force are you using? Like
Not
racking?
No,
Like,
not solid, just enough to like.
yep. Okay. So as it just strikes again, this tone not quite as unpleasant to you guys, but it does make a very distinct tone
Can
when
she,
it just strikes.
can she hit lower on the crystal? She's
Uh,
basically going to tap along the crystal to see if there's any resonance
Playing
changes.
this like an instrument.
Sort of.
yeah, as you hit it over and over again, you don't sense any changes in resonance,
Okay.
or the pitch, I guess, doesn't change,
All right. So
and the I guess the quality or the timbre of the pitch does not doesn't change it where you strike it, but obviously being not human, but being mortal, you can't get the exact same pressure every single time. And so you notice that the kind of timbre of the pitch kind of changes depending on how you strike it. But the pitch itself doesn't change. It's consistent. We'll call it an F because I like F.
perfect. So that means that there's no area of the crystal which has like a harder point. So it's all pretty even across it, even though the timbre changes. All right. Interesting. And was there any, even though we heard the noise, was there any like
Did reality shimmer?
Not to your knowledge, the guards didn't even react to it.
okay. All right. I just try it, but don't strike it too terribly hard. What if?
I'm just gonna
No,
try
because
the
that'll be
method
like a
that they
bow
just taught
across
us
the
in the
crystal.
core.
All right.
That's all I know. how to
Zariah
do.
covers her ears.
Okay.
So I try the first method I had originally tried, but with this
Okay.
thorn instead.
And this particular method is just a very kind of shallow angle that
sure.
you go in for to try and effectively shave off a small amount. And as you do that, it doesn't grip super well. It kind of skates across this as a surface.
Just like the
But
first time.
as it does, you guys get that same ear-piercing tone.
Does it feel like it did the first time? With the
Very
vocals?
similar.
Okay.
I would say because you're doing it more exact, the tone was probably louder and more
No, sorry. I
more
meant
painful to
when
you.
I tried to use the mining tools.
Oh,
was
this
that
feels
the same
very,
as
very
that?
different. Like the other time, it almost felt like there was no friction when you
Right.
used the pick. This one, it's obviously catching and catching on the thing. It's just the angle that you were going at was such a shallow angle that it didn't actually
Yeah.
get into anything. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
So Zariah is watching that with rapt attention.
I'm just
Dilly.
like looking over my shoulder and seeing.
Yes, like very, very close. Dilly, when you went
What?
when you went small and were grasping an object.
Oh, you want
it
me to go
changed-
small?
Wait. It changed size with you, correct? It got
Yes. Oh, do you want me to hug the crystal?
No. I want you to.
Okay, but can we do
Hold
that?
on.
Because that sounds like it'd be really interesting.
You're gonna get sent back to high roll.
We can do that. We can do that afterwards. But first,
Teddy hug this crystal.
what I want you to do.
No, the
is-
crystal hugged me aggressively.
So, since there was more friction against it, even though we heard the same tone, that means something is rubbed off of it. So, if we can rub a tiny fragment off of it, and Dilly, you're small, and then once you go larger, we'll have a larger fragment.
I don't know if that's
Sure.
how physics works, but okay.
That's how.
That's
your-
not
that's
physics,
how
'cause you're
your- the
actually
physics
able
of
to
your
go
ability
smaller.
works.
Yeah,
But magic.
precisely. But
Yes,
magic.
But you're magically creating extra matter.
Well, no, it's not.
We're in a
creating-
floating
well, yes,
teardrop
that's
in the
true.
sky. Okay.
And we
Also,
changed
let's
into
be
a different
clear.
race.
Dilly doesn't know about this type of physics. Dilly's knowledge of physics is about trajectory of daggers and things.
Right.
Only dagger
So-
This is
guns.
very much me adding in a little meta on accident, but I'll do it.
What we need to do is we're going to have Dilly shrink. You're going to continue to.
Got it. Dilly
try-
shrinks.
Wait.
Too late.
I continue
I said
to do
wait.
what I was doing.
All right. So Zariah's gonna hold Dilly and give her sort of.
If
a
I
little-
shrink while I'm being held, does the other person shrink with me?
No. Sure,
Because
as
either
the
way-
focus gets higher, we can find a way to give you the ability to shrink other people. But
Because
for right now,
either
no.
way, Dilly is shrinking.
Jody is
And
so
I
done
just
with
needed
us
to
today.
know.
He
if
gave us something
Zariah
to
was coming along
experiment
for
on.
the ride.
No, I wasn't holding you at that point. But as soon as you do shrink, Zariah's going to pick you up and give you a little leaf or something, or a little piece of wood.
Okay.
Dilly, I need you. And she starts whispering to Dilly so it's not too loud. I need you to go and hold this. Do not touch the crystal. Hold this against the crystal where a dash is going to be carving, essentially, and try and catch any fragments that come off. Don't touch it with your hands. Make sure it stays here. A dash,
Yep.
since
doing it.
I'm stage whispering and you can hear me,
Yeah, doing it. I do the same thing.
do not bump me into the crystal while I'm holding Dilly.
I'm not gonna bump you. Just don't get into
Player intrusion, he does not bump me. Or Dilly.
I'm gonna be honest. When you said you give Dilly a piece of wood, my immediate thought was mini Dilly acting like it's a sword.
No, it's like basically.
Yeah. Eventually, I understood it was more like basket type stuff.
There's an outtake from Parks and Rec where Amy Poehler's character is explaining to Andy something, and he just loses focus and just starts going, and Amy Poehler just starts breaking down, going, I just watched him lose it, and just go. And that's kind of how I imagine Zariah and Dilly are kind of doing this, where Zariah's like, okay, I want you to do this, and then Dilly just kind of goes off.
Zariah's pinching the back of their clothes.
Anyway, continue.
Dilly
We're
is not
doing
the
it.
one who would undress as a result of that. So okay.
Is anything
To
happening
stabilize
while
you.
we do the same thing, aside from more noise?
So, are you doing the exact same thing that you did before? Or are you making a steeper angle with the
Right
the
now, I'm doing the
intent
exact same thing before because Zariah was like, "Oh, if there was sound and resistance, there must be friction, and if there's friction, there must be microscopic fragments falling off." So, for now, that's what I'm sticking with. Seeing if we get
Okay.
anything from that.
So as you do it again, another tone happens. Dilly, even at your smaller size, you don't see any particles coming off of it, though.
How we looking?
Dilly just puts down the thing and does this.
Is that supposed to be a heart? What is that? I can't see it very well.
While shaking their head. Trying to communicate, but
Zariah's are right here, so
Is that the sun?
no, I don't think anything came off. Try it again. Try it again. But
Three
change.
words.
picks up
First
the thing.
word.
Try to get different angles on it.
Oh,
Alright,
try it harder. Got it.
Yes.
I do it harder.
Okay. Another tone comes out. This one slightly less pleasant to hear. Kind of hurts your ears a little bit. Particles do start coming off, and Dilly, as you kind of look at them, they are pieces of the thorn.
This is not
Foiled again.
not sound good. Okay, what is this? What are these gestures?
I'm gonna quickly run out to the guards as well. I'll be like, "You're hearing those things, right?
What?
You're hearing those things from inside."
What things from inside?
Noises at all?
I mean, we can hear you all discussing things. Are you discussing things we're not supposed to hear? Like, we can go further away. With
No,
you
no,
being
no, no,
here,
no.
we don't-
Just in general, other related sounds. Us talking, not a huge problem.
No.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Thank you. Goes back in.
As you're walking away, you hear a little conversation. There's a lot of weird questions, isn't he? Yeah, he does. I don't like him.
I'm looking
Rude.
to whenever we inevitably go back to Etsu Kormala, finding these two guard characters there and seeing what they do.
Again.
I mean,
they are
there
characters
are-
that they are characters that exist in
In
every
every reality.
I
Every
recall
world-
There's
these.
always two.
And I remember these characters because it's like the two characters I always remember Jody doing from even the playtests.
Yep. Philip and Gareth.
Yeah.
Philip, don't like them. They make me think.
I don't know what these.
Now, but which side
gestures-
is it? Is it the soldiers from Pirates of the Caribbean, or is it the pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes.
Which dynamic duo?
How far
We'll never
away
know.
is Fubari? Take a second.
At this point, Fubari's been traveling for like, what, I don't know, 15 minutes ish?
Close.
5-ish minutes away.
Yeah. And every time they do something, you're hearing these sounds over and over. And again,
There's still like no direction to it.
yeah, they almost feels like they're coming out of your own skull. And Hunter seems oblivious.
So these gestures, is it still not not good.
No, it doesn't look like it. All right, Dilly.
What I'm thinking here is that this crystal is physically different than the one we were able to mine from. Also, these tier crystals we know are different anyway because we touch them, things happen. The other one's fine. I don't know if we're going to be able to get anything out of this without like going full on aggressive. And if we do that, the
you hear
sound is
Dilly go
gonna-
and hold up a little bomb.
Huh.
So wait. I don't think anything from our realms,
Second bomb.
including Iruna's bombs, because she's like watching the both of you, including Iruna's bombs, is going to be able to do anything. So
Oh,
we
that's
have to
true.
find something here that's hard enough. If we have like a diamond or chisel from here, or perhaps an itty bitty bomb from here, we
Well,
need
I'm-
something.
It
this
seems to
realm.
be reacting more negatively the more we try and get out of it.
Well, but those are also things that I'm creating, and I'm a tier walker, and how you're interacting with it. So maybe we need someone from this realm because we're from the Hyrule realm, or Hyrule realm. We're able to chisel things off of our own crystal,
Oh, sure.
but
Okay.
maybe it's someone here that has to chisel things off. Does that make sense?
It does, but then I wonder if the point of why we're here is to use the chunks to our advantage in other tiers will have the effect we hope it will be. But it's worth a shot. Do we want to grab one of the guards?
See if the guards have anything on them that we can use as a chisel, or would they have to run back
Yeah,
somewhere
or
to
just
get
have
them?
them.
They need to
do
answer
it
their
with
pager.
their
Yes.
equipment. Just have them do it with their equipment because it won't react the same way as if we're doing it with your abilities, I guess.
That's true. They do have spears, and spears have spearheads. I don't know how sharp they are.
Well, we
That's
can
all
find
right.
out
Material
together.
is the spear made out of. Sorry, that's Ilea, not Dilly.
That's a good point, because if it's wood, it's not going to do very much. I doubt it'd be hard enough.
Hey, Minish wood can be pretty hard.
It could be. Curses. I
Does
wish.
Adesh know that from experience?
Yeah, I've used Minish wood before.
I
Haven't
wish
you?
with a infinite pocket.
Dilly has not, no.
So
Didn't you take the spear?
you guys
That
would be
wasn't wood.
familiar enough. They do have metal spearheads. Like they have advanced metallurgically far enough to understand how to harden steel.
Either we use a material from this actual tier, or we need someone from the tier itself. I really don't
not
trust
both?
these guards.
Oh,
Because I don't trust
Why-
these guards. They don't seem very
like they're suspicious or just like not competent?
smart, not competent.
Okay. I mean, they're competent to stand. They've been standing here for a day and a half, was it?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So curses.
As you
But-
guys are discussing this, you start noticing that the room itself is getting brighter. And at first, it doesn't quite make sense as to where it is because it just seems like the room is just getting brighter. And as you look towards the horizon, you can see the first little bits of the sun slowly starting to rise. And silhouetted by the rising sun is a figure riding on an ant, very, very quickly towards the temple.
Which Western theme plays while this is happening?
You're about to fight us then.
I was thinking more the rawhide thing.
I think Wayward Wind is more fitting for.
Remember that song from
Wayward
Five
Wind.
Five Goes
Rawhide.
Rest? They
I
played
am
it in Five Goes
excited.
West.
Yes.
Rawhide.
It's also in Blues Brothers,
Nice.
And City
where they
Slickers.
go to the country bar and they ask what kind of music they play here, and she goes, "Oh, we got both kinds, country,
Country
and
and
western."
Western.
and you get the lovely dance of Stand By Your Man. So, anyways, I maybe have that movie memorized. It's fine.
Nerd.
Gillies isn't
Can
saying
I-
any of this.
Can I see them like outside the temple, or is everybody inside? What do I see as I'm
You see me running
Galloping
towards
up.
you, excited,
Mondo's outside.
because I'm
No,
excited
I was just
to
back
see
in.
Hunter again.
Oh, sorry.
So Fubari, as you are winding up, you can see that there are some figures in the temple, but it's still relatively dark, so you
won't
can't see them.
recognize me.
But there is an armored figure running towards you that you've never seen. It has some strange device
Mm,
on its right arm that looks kind of dangerous.
okay, we're gonna do a fancy sliding stop on Hunter. Just kind
Okay.
of skid as we come to a complete halt.
I'm still running full speed.
So the strange armored creature is running directly at you, full tilt.
How good are ants at point turns?
Not.
That's
I
a
mean,
question.
you've already learned how to Tokyo drift the ant. I'm
Yeah.
thinking point turns are probably slightly less difficult than drift turning.
Eventually, we're gonna recreate every Fast and the Furious movie with this ant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Suddenly,
Okay,
this
well,
bald minish starts coming forward, going family.
we've come to a complete stop, so I'm gonna jump off and point my nib spear in the general direction of the running figure.
Good.
I
So
can tell you there is not a lot of information on the internet about how quickly an ant can turn.
Mm,
But apparently, on average, it can move 3 inches every second.
not
Sick.
bad.
Yeah.
they're fast little things. So Ades, yeah, you
I
watch
see
as
my
Fubari kind of
recognized Fubari.
dismounts,
Yeah.
pulls her spear out, and points it at you.
Whoa.
Kind of braces it against the ground in case you keep running. So she kind of like a pike.
Did we miss more drama? What happened?
Can I hear him? Or is it
Yeah,
just, like,
it's
armor.
it's a his suit actually like Iron Man style kind of projects his voice a little bit. So you recognize Adesh's voice, but it sounds really weird. And again,
is that you?
Yeah. Oh. Sorry. Yes.
this? What is this outfit? It is
no,
so cool.
Let
What
me
is it?
here. I'll take the helmet off. Like, yes. Hello. Sorry.
And she
Although,
goes up and
I look
immediately
like a
giant bear
Hylian
hug.
now.
Okay. Well,
A
you
very
smell the
short
same.
Hylian.
You smell the same, so she doesn't care.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, giant bear hug, decides the armor is too uncomfortable and backs off.
I'm sorry. It's cold and hard.
and you
but-
do still look like a Minish.
Oh, I
Mm.
do.
Yeah, even in your armor, you still look like a Minish.
Oh, so we okay.
Cool.
The armor actually changed itself to kind of coincide with your Minish physiology.
Huh. Okay, cool. Hi, yes, good to see you. As I walk past Fubari and start petting Hunter.
Oh, yeah, she gets it. He's doing so good. Look,
I'm glad.
he learned a trick,
He was
and
running
she
so
she
fast.
she tells Hunter to shake. He learned a trick.
Whoa.
Wow, you can still stand on 5 legs while he does. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He uses an antenna.
Everyone else is back to the crystal in the temple. We had to come back.
Why are you back so soon?
Yeah, well, we can't stay for too long.
Oh, okay.
For reasons I'll explain on the way. But we need to do some very quick research on this crystal of yours.
What crystal? Oh,
The
that
one
crystal.
yeah, that one. The
Were you
giant
making
hover.
noise? Were you making loud noises with it?
Ironically,
I heard-
yes, but
I heard a loud sound and I came running because it was weird and everything around here is normal except temple.
yeah, no, that's good. You heard it from all the way out there?
Yes, it was very loud.
Huh. The guards didn't react to it at all. It's interesting.
They have no brain.
Oh,
Ah.
that's actually what Zariah was saying. Here, come with
That
me.
makes
Come-
that
let's-
makes sense.
Let's go to the crystal and we can exchange information. Actually, Zaraya,
Philip,
want
did
to
they
experiment
just
with
call
you.
us stupid?
I
No.
love
You
I
guys-
love
Gareth.
Fubari. Best friend
Oh.
status.
Okay. Is everyone here? Everyone is
Everyone
back?
is here. Ino's, taking a lot of notes, but everyone is here.
Okay.
Ah.
Please let me help. It has been so boring. You've been gone like, how long have they been gone? Like a day?
A day. A little, like
You
day and a
have been
half.
gone a whole day. They made
Oh.
me sit through 6 meetings. There was talk of trade relations and commodity, and it's not that hard. You give me button, you give me acorn, we're done. Like,
You know what? You know what, Fubari?
overcomplicate everything.
I think
As soon as they
if
started
you're
talking about
this
tariffs,
honest-
you're like, I'm out.
Hey,
I
hey,
had to
chat!
go
I need someone to clip this.
Oh my gosh.
I think if you're this honest in those meetings, they will see why they made you the ambassador that you are.
No. This ambassador job is very, very hard.
I
Yeah.
assume that Zaraya and I are still inside.
They're in
I'm leading her back to the group, but yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, let's do
just-
something not meeting related,
It's
please.
not meeting related, but it is research related. So
Okay.
Just
Hey,
not
Gar-
hearing
sorry, I didn't
at
catch your name.
all
What
this
was your name?
conversation.
I'm Gareth. This is
Gareth.
Philip. Or I'm Philip. It's Gareth.
oh wow, you've confused your names. Okay, well, Gareth and/or Philip,
My
look
other brother,
out
Daryl.
for Hunter. here.
Gareth. Not Garrett. Gareth.
Right, that's what I said. And/or Philip. This is Hunter. He's a very good ant. Watch him while we're inside, and if anything happens to him, I'll know about it. And I'll know it was you were responsible. Then I walk inside.
Goopbody pulls like a
And then
piece
I
of
slowly put
cheese
the
or
helmet back
something.
on as that happens.
Uh-huh.
Brandish the arm cannon as I walk back inside.
Not sure I like this job anymore, Philip.
Fubari tethers or leaves Hunter outside with like a piece of very, very dry muffin out of her pocket.
Okay.
Leaves that for him to snack on.
He seems pleased. So
Okay. What is happening? What are you doing?
We need a piece of your crystal, but we're not being successful. We think you might be able to help, or someone from here.
Okay, what have you tried? Dude.
Soraya, you want to take this one?
Sure. As soon as Araya sees Fubari, she goes, Fubari! And goes and gives her a big hug and starts ushering to the crystal. So let's see the things in your pocket because what we need to do is, and she explained.
Explains the entirety of everything in like
Yep.
60 seconds.
Yep, as fast as she can. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to try to get off a piece of the crystal. This is the way that we were able to do it in our world. We were able to turn it like this and like shows everything. Can you try and get some off?
Okay,
Without
we
us
try.
stopping you? All right.
We try.
Fantastic.
Ah. And she starts doing a mental inventory and just starts pulling random things out of her pockets and randomly either handing them to whoever's in range or throwing them on the floor.
Zara is very close
fishing
by. and she's
line comes out and kind of gets thrown on
fascinated.
Dilly, and there's a weird like bottle cap like piece and gives that.
I'm looking for the most out of place, interesting thing that comes out of these pockets.
How do so many things fit in your pockets? You're tiny. Look at all of this. Do you have
Pockets.
infinite pocket space?
The
This is what
pockets are
happens
priority.
when you have good pockets.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
There are,
Dilly did
there
not
are-
say that, by the way. Sorry.
Okay.
Dilly
Dilly
needs
right now
pockets.
is very short, and all you can hear from them is
There are 3 things most important in life: food, warmth, and pockets.
Yeah.
4 and freedom.
Not necessarily
Well,
in that order.
Depending on whose freedom. My own freedom, very important. I'm so
Pockets-
sorry.
No.
Can you
that was
Pockets
exactly my
ensure
soul
freedom.
thought at that moment. Good
Pockets-
job.
Pockets
Pockets are pretty
are
good.
freedom.
fair enough. All right. So regrettably, I would love to stay and talk with you and see what else is in your pockets, but we have to get through this really quickly
Mhm.
because time is passing very quickly in our realm, tier, realm, whatever. And Yes, could you please?
So she's sorting through all the things in her pockets and she picks out an assortment of the things that are most hard. So there's like a few bits of metal, and a variety of rocks.
Okay. I would say that you have probably created just because it's a incredibly simple machine. Probably created like have you ever seen a hand cranked drill?
Like, yeah, like for, okay.
So you probably would have something akin to that, kind of cannibalized from a bunch of different things, and then obviously you have little bits of metal scrap and the things like that. One of them is actually a metal splinter from like a just a forge that they were shaving off things, and there's just this kind of decently long metal splinter that you have.
And I have the tier too. I had one.
Yep. Can't remember what your tier was. Let's see.
It let me potentially talk to faces on inanimate objects, I believe. User can talk to any creature.
Oh yeah, you can animate anything that
Yeah.
has a face.
Yeah.
So it
Give me
is
faces on the crystal.
so it is a manifest thing. So let's say the actual physical shape it takes is like a little like a perfume bottle kind of thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
So that's what it is, and if you spray it on the thing, it'll make it to the talk. So if you want to do that, you can.
Yeah.
Will it make it protrude a nose?
Again, it's specifically designed to make something that already has a face talk. So you don't know what'll happen if you use it on something that doesn't have a face.
I'm so curious.
Well, at this point, I think I'm trying to fulfill their wishes. So I'm gonna take
So
my
yeah.
little handy jig drill and take a stab at it.
Okay. As you attempt to kind of drill into it, nothing. It keeps kind of skating off. Gets absolutely no purchase whatsoever. To speed things up a little bit, since we're almost out of time here, as you tried various different devices and things that you found in your pocket, none of them get any friction whatsoever.
I'm sorry, I do not seem to be having much success here.
Yeah, relatable. Was there another part of your idea, Soraya? To
Temperature changes.
oh,
Your
oh.
fire. Your fire. Did you get your fire abilities back?
No.
Your shadow back.
While I have this suit version of me, I can't use magic anyway. So if I sit
While
for an
this is
hour,
happening,
concentrate, I can do it, but I still would
Well, technically,
be able to use fire.
The abilities that you have from your base type,
They're part of my arm cannon, yeah, but
so like
magic.
if you
itself
still
is-
had the fire, you could use it as like a flamethrower.
I mean, I can like here. I'll just go into a corner and try to use like fire for my arm cannon just to check.
Yeah.
it, but
Unfortunately,
So,
the fire is locked,
that's what I'm
but
saying, yeah.
the rest of your beams still work.
yeah, I lost my plasma beam in the last fight, so
Mm.
it just keeps happening. I keep losing my stuff over and over again. I don't know why.
So just for color, you know those old like friendship lanyard things that you would make in summer camps?
Yeah.
You threw fishing line
Fishing
on
line.
small Dilly. Dilly is now making what to them seems to be a giant version of that, but is using the fishing line.
I would say I believe
fit
your
around the
shrinking
finger.
ability only lasts for like a minute or 10 minutes or something.
It's short, but I mean, who says what time is?
I would say at this
A minute
point,
in which realm?
Dilly.
It's a minute link somewhere.
Dilly has grown back to her original
Just
size at this
in
point.
Zariah's hand. Anyway, I'm still using the fishing line during this entire thing, just to make the lanyards, not even the bracelets, the little lanyards.
You get it.
Temperature changes.
I have. Let me double check before I make this claim. I have an ice beam. I can make it colder, but I can't make it.
Temperature
hotter.
changes. Yes. Yes. You
Temperature
can't make it higher. Where's your
changes.
fire?
It got
Yeah.
locked whenever we tried to hold the guy back here.
All right, hold on. If you can make it colder, Fubari, do you have anything that can make a fire?
Oh, yes.
And potentially something that can make a fire even hotter, like let's see. What
We
would
have
bring it?
bombs.
We have acorn bombs.
Well, the thing is, I don't want it to destroy a large chunk of it. We just need a part of it. I don't want to crack the crystal and then get stuck here.
Freezing
that
the
this is a
crystal
bad
and
place to
then
be.
doing something like this.
Something with it hot, yes. So maybe we can heat up like a fire poker or something.
But it
akin
also
to it.
might crack more than just the area we're going for.
Right, that's why I need you to be very specific with where you're aiming it.
Okay.
So practice that in the corner while we heat up something metal.
I practiced.
We
Go
could
on.
try a
Next
little
morning.
acetic acid from the ant.
There is acid. Oh, but I
Mhm.
don't. We need to keep a part of it. We don't want to burn it away or have it melt into itself and then harden again. Although, if it is starting to melt, well, it depends on the type of melting that it's doing. Because if it's corroding it, that might change the structure. We might not have the same results from it.
And how did you guys get how did you get a chunk off of the crystals in the other realms? How'd that
We
work?
chiseled it off.
Okay,
Yeah,
you just
they
like
have-
Hammer and chisel.
They basically have jewelry making. They basically have like a jewelry making kit with them, and that includes
Mhm.
like little diamond tip drills and chisels and things like that.
okay,
for
but the
working with
equivalent of that
gems.
has not worked
Yes.
in this realm. Okay.
Dilly hands Fubari back the fishing line, now in a very long lanyard with a smile.
Oh, it's a pity. Thank you.
Wait, thought, lightning. If we're able to chill an area, and then if Ino can direct some lightning towards the same area, it should shatter.
A key kind of peeks up. You see Key's little ears start twitching. It's like, "Mhm.
Starts.
I know.
Yes,
Lovely
a
friend.
key. They want your lightning abilities.
I mean, we always want you, but, Ino's very
The
protective.
key kind of jumps up on your shoulder.
So I was very happy.
He tries kind of nuzzling you because his fur is a little bit spikier now. It's a little bit rougher, and you get like 3 or 4 little static zaps from him.
I would love taps.
Worth it.
1000%. Icky, would you be willing? Because I imagine you just heard everything I was saying. A dash. Oh, I suppose we don't even have to. You don't have to use it directly on the crystal. You can freeze something, and then we can lie it against the crystal. And once the crystal starts to turn cold, which if you buy, you'll have to be able to touch the crystal in order to tell us. Because if we touch the crystal, then we're going to go back to our realm. So you're gonna have to touch it and see if we're able to get it cold enough to change its temperature, and then remove your hand. And then as soon as she says it's cold enough for key, we need you to strike it with your lightning. Does that make sense?
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell me where
Huzzah.
to shoot.
All right, make this rod very, 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 very cold with a spear tip.
I would like to sustain shoot the spear tip until it gets frosty.
Okay.
Dilly
So-
is going to be further away from the crystal.
So Fubari, you watch as Adesh comes over and he has this strange device seemingly grafted to his arm. He kind of points it, and this kind of cold blue beam of light goes and starts freezing the tip of this. So this is a spear. It doesn't take very long for it to get absolutely freezing cold to the point where the ambient moisture is forming frost on
I think
it, like
this is cold.
a
as
couple
it's gonna get.
seconds.
Okay. So you
Unfortunately, as all that is being done, unfortunately, that is where you're going to have to end it for today. So you got a heart out.
Write down
So-
your ideas.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I gotta go audition for a musical.
As
send all your
always, if you
goodbyes.
missed any
Yeah,
of this,
break 'em.
you can watch the entire series right here on twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. Tonight, do we have a time that Amanda's supposed to be streaming?
I wanna say
Amanda
7
told me like
Pacific.
7 Pacific time.
Right. So 7-ish Pacific time, come back to the channel. Or what you could do is you could follow the channel and then you'll get
You'll get
notifications whenever it goes live. And come back, watch Amanda play Echoes of Wisdom, which is a delightfully charming, wonderful 2D Zelda game. And yeah, otherwise, it's going to be all for us today. And we will see you guys in the next time. All right? Bye-bye.